Hello out there, Twitch. I can't believe I've had my microphone disabled the whole day. I've been talking to myself. Oh my goodness. Lost a potential follower there. Someone said hi. I was saying hello to him. z80. Do apologise. I was saying hi to you, bro. Anyway, I'm in the mood for relaxing today. So I've got the coding up. Although it's not a very relaxing experience right now because we've got this unsolvable problem, it seems, with somewhere in my code. I've checked this code. It's exactly the same. Although it's different, we've used different sizes and we have to do some different bits. The principle is the same as Jonathan Caldwell instruction, exactly the same. Like, I'll show you the result in a minute of what's going wrong. Now it could be the buffering. It still could be something to do with my draw sprite routine. Although I really don't think it is. I think it's the play window routine that's causing the issue. But as I say, I've checked this many times, and it does match what's in my book. It's very close to it. It works the same way. There's no reason why this shouldn't work. I apologise to anyone like z80 and Moz. I was talking to you the whole way through that last stream, but my microphone was disabled. I've got into the habit of disabling it because my computer, I notice it recording me when I'm talking when I don't want it to. So I started getting a bit paranoid with that. But let's just show you what's going wrong. Right, it all looks good. I've turned the scrolling off so that it's like, not quite so bad on the eyes. I've added movement code, but I purposely didn't add delete. And as you can see, it's getting drawn multiple times in certain columns. Now let's do it up here. That's all fine. It's not getting deleted. I'm going to press left gradually. You see, I started from the middle, but now I've ended up over on the right there. And then there's duplicate. I'm actually over here now. I was holding left the whole time. Okay, so I've held left. I mean, that's actually correct because I capped the lowest he could go on the left to be 2. So let's try. Let's try making that 0 then. See if I can make it all the way to the edge of the screen. That'll sort of prove it's not my draw sprite. Oh, he makes it there, but you don't see him. It's really weird whatever's going on. You see, there's a column in the middle there which isn't being drawn, and I believe that what's happening is you're getting a duplicate of the very end of the right side. See, look, there you go. When I go move to the right, it appeared there. I can only say that that's going to be my buffering code doing that. When I did this last night, eventually you can fill it in, because if I move all the way to the left, so that bit's working fine, but then all this, and eventually it looked like 2 carbon copies. well, it's not two carbon copies, but a lot of them columns are copies, and I just can't figure out why. I'd say it must be to do with this, but I'm really not sure. It's a big task to debug this with no like debugging tools. It is quite pretty, isn't it? You can do some weird effects with it. I've done another thing off the air as well, which was, the background. I came up with a real crappy algorithm to keep increasing it, and then when it got to 255, keep decreasing it, and it made a weird looking sort of wall looking effect. It looked like a weird wall from an NES game. A tiled wall. It's pretty cool. But I really have to figure out what's going on with that. I'm going to run it one more time and just move it slowly. I'll try and tell you which direction I'm pressing. So this time I'm just going to press right one at a time over and over again. It will move more than one though. It moves quite quick. But yeah, look, I appeared on the right where I expected to. That vanished bit wasn't expected. But then also I appeared there on the left. And then you get to here and it starts filling that area in the middle. And I can do the same thing here. If we look, I'm going to go left slowly. There you go. This bit here is actually normal. And then it goes to that. So the two like columns, I can't really show you, but the sort of say second and third, fifth of the screen seem okay. But then the others are sort of linked in some weird way. It's so weird. Because we paint a whole line. That's what's really, really weird. I wonder if it's to do with these registers. Because we do an entire line. So I fail to see how the offset could be anything to do with it. The offset's obviously correct, isn't it? It starts in the right place, the line. Although does it? I mean, we've got that duplicate bit as well. Crikey, this is a tricky problem, this. I probably shouldn't do this, because I'll get in trouble for copyright, but I know what I can do. Alright, so here's my version of it, which we've been looking at many, many times. And this is the instruction I'm working on. Shame we can't see that at the same time. Right. So I've called mine play window. He's called it window. He does less registers, which only adds up to 14. And he wants 28, so you don't see it here. He's just done that to say there's loads more code to be there. This is the very last one. But it's exactly the same principle. as that. It doesn't have margin size, but margin size is 0. I really can't see how that's changing anything. I could painstakingly delete all the margin size ones, but they're at 0, so it should be fine. They're all in the right place, then push pop things. Yeah, so it's as if somehow, I mean, the only way of that problem occurring, if it is the buffer, is that some of these registers are somehow copying to each other before we push. Do you know what I mean? Because there's no other way for a line to get sort of split. How big is my buffer again? I am getting to the point where I may have to post this on some forums and ask help. I'm trying to think of a way to seriously debug that. Oops. I'm going to get rid of this from Coldwell because, as I say, there is no difference to that. As far as I can tell, I've done that exactly like the book. Obviously, I've adapted it to my own size. A way I could think of debugging right now is to come up with a way of having a tiled background, and every tile has a different number inside it, or something like that. You know, even just a different line. So one could have a line at the top pixel, and one could have one in the middle or something. But let me think. That would be a useful thing to have as for any sort of test, screen test sort of thing. Yeah. So if I can somehow make a tile that is like 2 by 2 character cells, that we will know if it's getting sort of mashed up. So basically, yeah, put numbers or some sort of, they have to be different each time in a row, like in order. That's a brand new thought to me. I've just had this thought, so I don't know what, I haven't even considered how to do this. I mean, our background is here. It currently, we don't need to worry about that. That's just checking the size of the array. So it currently just takes a hard-coded byte of background data and paints it over and over again. Come up with a way of grouping them. The thing is, you're basically talking about sprites there, aren't you? Even though it's a background. we need it to behave like the sprite. And that's only an 8x8 sprite. I think I'll do that. That's a start. If I just create a load of 8x8 squares with numbers in them. Or no, in fact, let's do 16x16 and just let's adapt this. Alright. So it's obviously crucial to leave all that the same anyway. We're trying to test that code. And I believe that is all that gets us to our origin for where our sprite should begin in memory of the play window. Instead of going down a line here, we need to go forward 1 byte first and then backwards. So we already go forward 1 byte there. Basically just do the same thing after we moved along. Pop it into the memory and then decrease BC. No. Increase BC. So that doesn't seem right. Hang on. Inc HL. Take the next lot of BC because we already increased it here. Then we'll go back 1 square and forward a whole line on HL. So these comments are out the window. Is it 1 1 now? 0 1. It is living hard work coding in assembly. Start 0 0. So that's the first 2 lines. We can just copy, paste. Double checking. think we can. So it's 0.2 there. Where are we? We're at 0.2, but of course the X is in characters and this is in pixels, so we'll end up at 0, 16 and 116. 116 will be the last one. I believe it's that straightforward from here. Of course it'll be 15 the last one, not 16, like I said a minute ago. What have I just done? So that should now draw us a 16 by 16 sprite instead of 8 by 8. Of course we don't need to do any of that for the last one. So I guess I'll keep them in another file. Don't get hung up on a name. I'm just going to call it textures.asm. This is just a group of sprites, so we'll call this tile 1. Well, let's call it tile 0. They're all going to be 16 by 16. Alright, let's just do it manually. Oh, I didn't do DB. That's going to screw me over if I don't be careful. So I want 16. Got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Delete that one. Well, in fact, just change it to that. Alright, let's see if that works. We've got a blank tile. Do I want to bother drawing the background? I don't think it matters. Let's put it right on top of everything. I haven't included that either yet. Do it in a minute. What am I doing? Just do X or A for now. I mean, I think I can just do. I think I can just do that. Okay. Oh, I didn't include it. It hasn't drawn. I can't see this doing it, but I'll just eliminate that as a thought out of my head. No. Oh, of course. It's just suffering with the same problem, that's why. I bet if I draw it at 2. Yeah. So we can do this now. We can start seeing which ones are not showing up and which ones are and where by creating painstakingly like a lot of different numbered tiles. I think that's probably the best way for me to do it. I don't know a very efficient way of debugging this. I mean, we could start looking at the memory, but I tried it and I can't really make sense of it. When I debug in other languages, I'd set up some sort of breakpoint, and I'd also set up debug log messages, so I'd somehow figure it out from doing that. But inside the debug log, you can like include values of variables, but I don't know how to do that in Spectrum. I've just made the 1 first. I probably should make 0. I'm going to start using 0 obviously a lot more, so I'll change it. That'll do for a 1. I also should have kept a copy of the bloody blank one. In fact, can I do that somehow? Yeah. Okay. I mean, I know this is a rubbishy way of doing this, but the quickest I can think of at the time. But I know they're not always symmetrical, are they? I've got 0 and a 1. We already know the 0 ain't going to show up and the 1 will. Guess I've just got to keep going, haven't I? I'll do. It's painstaking. Oh, what have I done here? Oh. What I wanted to do was just count how many I need, and it helps me visualise while I make yet another smoke. It helps me think. Because it's 24 wide, so I need 12 times 8. That's a lot. Well, the problem only seems to exist on the x-axis, so I'm just going to do 12 over and over again. In fact, we only need to do the top line. We don't need to worry about all the other lines. It's a shame, because if we didn't run into this problem, we would have made loads of progress by now, I'm sure. I mean, I'm sure another problem would have arose, but this has held me back for a long time. Maybe I could start using a paint app for these. I'm going to actually. So you won't see it, but you'll suddenly see me paste in the you'll suddenly see me paste, or maybe I could show it on air. It's a bit more interesting for viewers, isn't it? Let's figure that out. Oops. What button is it to do a straight line? Oh, shift. It is shift. Right. Two is a tricky one. I've kind of pulled it off. I'm happy with the homemade 2. I'll just do a 3 here. I actually don't care what it looks like, by the way. In fact, I'll do a new layer so I don't need to mess about. I obviously could just use a font. I know that. This is quicker and easier. The only sad thing is I can't copy paste this as an export in this program. I have to export it manually. Actually, do I want to put it there? Right, so there's that. I'm going to just leave GIMP on the screen for you, but I'm actually loading ZX. I could do that actually, couldn't I? It would be slightly less visible. I could go down in a diagonal fashion, couldn't I? Just one bit, and if it's 2 bits down, then obviously 2. Yeah, let's do that then. That should be quicker. Although this wouldn't take that long. I've closed GIMP now. Oh no, I haven't. It's still on stream there. Where is it then? Oh, there. Alright, I'm going to keep it open. I'm doing it. Won't take me that long. I would load up ZX Paintbrush so it shows you it, but the thing is, it doesn't show you the export window anyway, so it's pretty much pointless. But long story short, if someone downloads ZX Paintbrush and they happen to be watching this, figuring it out, you can do a little trick where you paste your PNG into that, you just pull it in there, go to export file, don't even give it a name, just do .asm. Then you set up the binary how you want it to appear in your, how you want it to appear. You'll see exactly what I mean when you get there. Click export to clipboard. And then it's as simple as just pasting it in. I mean, yeah, they give you this annoying bit of data. I don't seem to be able to get rid of that. And I could set up the indent, because you can set up the DB thing. So I could tell it to have an indent DB, but I can't be bothered. But yeah, there we go. We've got the 3. I can race through these. We only need 12. Like dice. Yeah, you could actually just do that, couldn't you? Yeah. Good point. I think this will be clearer in the long run, though. It won't take that long. Have you erase it there? Oh, don't be like that. Do that then. That's too horrible. There we go. I don't care that it was saved as 3 again. I'll race through these. I'm almost done with 4. That's an S, for God's sake. Come on. That'll do. Alright, that's 5 done. The funny thing is, it still just won't work after I've done. It's not going to fix anything. I'm not a graphics man, as you can probably see. But we're more than halfway done, so it's no biggie. Whoops, I tried to compile it for some reason and it failed, but I'll figure it out later. I can't have that one. There we go, that'll do. Nearly there. Three more. Okay, last one. Right. I don't like these comments, and it gives me a chance just to quickly check these sprites. We're there. Finally. And pixel art. Yeah, I mean, I love doing pixel art because you can, if you do like a 64 by 64 bit pixel image, it's like really easy to, there's not that much to do, you know, it's quite straightforward. Like, I mean, you can't do that great an image with that amount of pixels, but you can set your pencil just to work on one pixel at a time, and it's quite fun then, you know. But I normally do 3D art, to be honest. To be honest, we also probably don't need to name all of these. We'll probably want them in an array, and then we'll just shift through them. Yeah, that's what we'll do. So do you know what? I'm going to keep that because I like it, having it like that. I don't have to do that again. Call that tiles.asm. That's just stored for another time. Oh, I know. I'll just comment in a minute. Let's use Elfindo and ReplaceO. It's all good. So tiles. Oh, in fact, not there. Here. So we want some variables and constants. Tile length equals 16 times 2. Let's do 2 times 16. Is that all we need? I think it might be. Of course, each tile is going to need its own position value to work with our code. I guess it's just an offset again. We're only going to go along the x-axis. So the tile has a position, but then an offset of 2 each time. So I just shut my window. Right, so if we give if we make if we put the pointer in IX, my brain's completely a blank here. I know roughly what I need to do, but I just want to start from the first tile. I keep preaching about pseudocoding, but I never do it on air. And I never do it with assembly language either, but I used to do it a lot, where I'd just write exactly what I wanted to do in order. Just write like, start tile 0. I hate this autocomplete with a vengeance. struggling to think. There's lots of noise going on here. Let's get rid of that. It's real simple stuff here that I'm stuck on here. It's nothing too tricky. I think I'll start by just making a routine called draw tiles. I'll probably just brute force code it, like unrolled as they call it. I could make a loop, probably should, but right now I think I'm just going to draw all 12 in the line. And I hadn't done it in so long. Probably should have called this tiles and kept tiles. Doesn't really matter. We want to come up with like a data format. So I mean, they're always going to be alive. We don't need to worry about that. They just want a position. I mean, I could set it here manually, couldn't I? What do they want other than a position? Nothing. Like obviously you could have a colour here, you'd have an is alive ball, you'd have a movement speed if they were able to move, timer, if they were staying alive only a certain time. But right now, I think that's all we need. There's 12 of them, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're always going to be on 0, Y. Don't even need that really, the last one. I really think is that too many? It's going to be alright, isn't it? I don't know, my brain, I don't trust my brain at all anymore. After the last few days, I think it's all good. Ah, wait, wait, wait. Wait, wait. I've got two different ways in my head now, both equally sort of work. I could either hard code the offset for each sprite as well, which I think I'm leaning towards, or I could use this value when I iterate, then I've got to come up with a way of multiplying it, haven't I? To move IX along in an offset. I could just increment by that amount after each loop. I'm not gonna. I'm gonna hard code it. 32, yeah. It's easier to do that, isn't it? So that's gone over 1 byte. I always get confused. I'm defining a byte, but it's gone over a byte. I wonder, is that somehow what's causing all of our problems? I don't know. Do you know what? I'm going to use the loop instead. This makes it easier for me. And actually, it's better in the long run because you don't want to be hard coding every background here. Or maybe you do it in Spectrum, I don't know. So I'm just going to have to increment the pointer by that amount to get to the sprite each time. Do we need to use IX and IY to do this? Yeah, we do. I've just had an insane thought. All of this, I should have hard coded it after all these. So wait there. Oh, what the flip have I done there? So now there's an extra 2 bytes. And the first 2 are its position. But now we only need 1 register. Oh, what? I think this should be possible to deal with. Have I messed one up? How does that work? 24 I want. Oh yeah, that's good. No. Why is it going up to 24? Bloody hell. 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 24. So it's 24 characters width. So why the hell? Oh, I've gone up to 12, I only needed 11, didn't I? Stupid idiot. Because I've got 0. Okay. So IX points at our first tile. Probably have to do that little trick at the very end. Do we need, problem is it's going to find 255. So my trick fails here. Because I always used to make sure that I use my ball as the start. So it was never going to find 255. That's alright, I know another way. I'm going to just code a value of how many there are. Tile count equals 12. I think that's kind of what made me slip up there, because I didn't put tile 0. Nearly made me slip up. So instead we've got there's only 12. You can use DJNZ. So load B with tile count. Now I want to call that draw sprite 16, which has inputs of oh damn it, BC. So I either push and pop, or I come up with a way of not using DJNZ and just decrementing myself and comparing. I think push and pop should do it. It's not tiles plus 2 though. It's IX. Yeah. That should leave us on there, and then the rest of the code will automatically take the rest. What else did it need? X and a Y. Into DE. Hopefully that can be done just like that. And that could be done. I hope. Oh dear. Something I've written is invalid. Also, I want to check I've imported. Yeah, I have. Excuse me. IX. I'm gonna have to look it up and see what I can load from IX. Maybe I have to use the accumulator. God, it goes so slow. Alright, so you can load it into 8-bit registers. So they're okay, but this one ain't. That's a pain, isn't it? I'm loading the data from it there. That's going to fail. So maybe... Oh, IX is still needed just for that. And we need to ink IX afterwards as well. No. Length. Alright. That's no good. Damn it. I thought there was a way around that from just using IX on its own. I need the pointer. Ah, sugar. Because I don't really want to change my drawings code. Especially since this is just for a test. To see if that code was working. All I need to do is increment the pointer by that amount. If I had one extra register, I could do it very easily. I could just use the IY. because of the way I just set up the data, I'm also loading it into the same thing. That's no good, is it? Yeah, I need another standard register. So HL is being used. No. Oh, of course it does get push and pop it again though. This might work. Okay. That might work. Didn't compile. Damn, I thought you could do that. Why am I messing up here? Damn. Need one more register. Oh wait there. Can you do this? No. But it got past that though. The hell? $62. Value expected but HL found. What's it talking about? Line 62. Line 63. What? But IX found this time. So you can't do that either. Damn, this is tricky. We'll have to adapt the sprite drawing code to not use a pointer. Oh, that'd be dead annoying. I bet there's something so obvious here to do. I just need BC to point at the sprite at exactly IX plus 2. Hmm. God's sake. Oh dear. How the hell can I do that? It must be a way. Because if I wanted it to put it in the same sprite every time, that would be fine. I could just stick that in there. I could just do tiles plus 2. That would work. It's going to give me the same tile. Oops. It's going to give me the same tile every time. All I need to do is step that up. The thing is, you have to use a constant. You can't iterate that number in this loop. Christ. I feel like I'm banging my head against a brick wall sometimes. I've got to find out how to move a pointer from one register to another. Oh, I've just thought of a way. I could pop it. This could get confusing though. This could get very confusing. I don't need to worry about HO anymore, do I? So what I've tried to do here, excuse me, is push the value of IY and pop it into BT. So as you see, I never pop IY. I'm hoping this is going to work. Yeah, it does. But we have these glitches, but I'm actually sure that that's nothing to do with this code we've just written. That's demonstrating to us what is going on with our code. And if you look, 10 and 11 are getting duplicated, 6 is getting duplicated, everything else is in the right place. So this looks to me like it's some sort of copy paste error when I made my buffering code. "11" and 10 are duplicated, and 6, and that's it. Zero, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Everything else is in the right place. Just 10 and 11 here are not, and 6 here is not. Oh, you can't see that, damn it. Thought you could. Sorry. So yeah, this one's in the wrong place, and them two, and that's it. They seem to be getting copied from here, and here, and here. The weird thing is, our buffer only deals in lines, doesn't care about columns, just does a whole line, and it finds the next particular line in memory, and we can see that they're working because they're being drawn correctly. Yeah, there is a tile at 0, 0, but it's got 6. Yeah. So that's somehow getting copied from there to there, and then the same with this bit is over here. But other than that, they're all good. Or it at least appears to be good. Very, very, very odd. At least this works. So we've learnt yet another trick there, really. If you want to move a pointer. I mean, I've actually... Yes, I have used IX and IY. But that's pretty goddamn straightforward again, actually. To do a little tiled background. Because now I could actually hard code an entire background like this, couldn't I? And it would probably be pretty fast. I could just continue down here to the next line. I'm pretty sure that would be easy to do. Maybe a couple of lines to change. I know there's better ways of doing a background, but sometimes the hard coding is the way forward, isn't it? With these, makes it a lot quicker. Yeah, that is a good trick. At least we've learned something. As long as you control how many push and pops there are, it doesn't matter which register you pop them back to. I've made good use of it there because I stored what was in BC. Then I just used Y as a sort of middleman, popped him into BC, used it, and then got the original data back in BC. All in one loop, like, very quickly, I think. It is. I've never tried that. I did read it in a book ages and ages ago about doing that, but I never. It was just one of them things I thought, right, I better get more advanced before I start trying all that sort of stuff. So we've got the tiles drawn correctly. I'm sure it is this buffer code now then. But where do you start? Because it, like I say, it just does whole lines. If it's the 6th, like this should be 0, 0. So that's missing for some reason. And then the 6th one, wasn't it? No, the 6th one is actually the 12th one. Let's just load it one more time. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 13th and 14th is where 6 should be. 0, 1. No, it's not that. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 and 13th. So we're up here, right? So we only have to worry about the top row. We don't even need to worry about loads of code down below, really. We do the entire line. In fact, just the first line is all we really, in the first couple of lines. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So it is as soon as you get to the shadow register. Interesting. Fascinating. I just had a real cop-out idea then. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Imagine making the window just 12 wide and then losing the shadow register as a debug exercise. My caveman style debugging. Just hack away at it with a hammer style of debugging. I say it every time, every video almost, but I'm not like this in other languages where there's a bit more help, like in the engine to do debugging. But this is there's nothing on this. You've got to create every tool yourself, as far as I'm aware. Like I could use Zeus and stuff like that and learn to use that. That's going to be the next stage. But even then, I tried it. I just didn't understand any of it. I need I'm not trying to knock the inventor of Zeus. It's an amazing program, but I need one that's like going to hold my hand a bit better. Do you know what I mean? If I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to save this to GitHub because we've got a working tiled implementation there. Okay. So I can always come back to this moment in the code now. If I deleted all the shadow registers, we would have a window width of 12. What else would we need to change? We'd need to change the end memory just to be nice. I don't know if we even use that. That's the first thing I'm going to try. No, we don't. Might as well make it as simple as we can. Let's do it. I've got no other ideas, unless someone's got some great idea to try. I'm guessing it's the shadow registers at this point. So what I'm going to do is change nothing about that except for window width, which I've already changed. And that's it. That's all I'll need to change, and then I'll need to remove all the shadow registers. So that's going to be half the size. Proper old school debugging. Exactly. People around the world didn't really have them tools, did they? Unless they made them themselves. You'd have to be a pretty brain box to just conceive of that idea by yourself in your home with no internet. I mean, I know people did it, but you've got to be pretty bright. I mean, I know there were schools of learning still. You know, people used to go to computing college and all that sort of stuff, and there was internet there. But still, if we get that end result, that's all that matters, isn't it? If we learn along the way, even better. I'll probably just use the calculator here to make sure I get it right. So we've now got, was it 14? 12 width times 8 times 8. So segment is only 768 now. And did we have two of them now? I think we do. So the whole screen now fits into just 600 hex. I'll obviously have to change all the movement code. I might actually just do it, just that. And here comes the fun part. I guess, can I do find on that? That would be amazing. No. See, wouldn't that be grand? There we go. Oh my god. Oh, I thought I messed it up then. Alright. So that will actually get rid of all of the ones I want. And then I just got to do the same with the pushes. Okay. Laborious, but nowhere near as much as it could have been. I wouldn't actually find any of this laborious if I was achieving something at the end, but because I keep failing, it's like I already know I'm not going to get the result I want before I do it, if you know what I mean. But this time I actually feel like this might work. Yeah, true that, they did come with good manuals. My Specky I got when I was very, very young. I had the 128k, and I can still remember the big book it came with. I used to write the games and didn't have a clue how they worked. Occasionally I used to get them to run, you know. I was very young. But there is stuff missing from the ZX manual, isn't there? I can't remember what it was now, but I was reading about it. But like, it's funny, they've only got, you know, they've got almost everything in there that you could ever want to know. I think that's going to do it for me here. So now we're not even using any shadow registers. We've only got a game width of 14. Oh, they're all going to have to be changed, aren't they? Oh no, because luckily I use my convenient constant. So I think that's all good. Anything else I might need to change? Not really. Weird, look, it started from 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. But it's actually all in order. What the hell? So before they were getting painted over, weren't they? They were there probably all in that order. But the 7, 8 and 9 were getting drawn over again. We've simplified it. We've isolated it a little bit more. No problem. Oh, why have I still got an EXX here? What have I just done? It's all the way to here. For some reason that find and replace didn't do it all. Here's one though. God, that's worrying. All the way down to here. Alright. Well, can't really avoid it. No result. What? That's why there was a space in some of them. Wow. That could be the cause of a lot of our problems then. Well, I haven't done this multi-line stuff very much. Where's replace gone? Okay. Seems okay now. Still 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Am I starting from the wrong place? Like, what's going wrong? No difference. So they're in order now, but why do they start from that? That's so weird. Again, here's the book version. It does the exact same thing. I'm sorry to, but the same order. And I'm pretty sure it's got nothing to do with us using them. Although maybe it has. I don't think it has. Why would it start from 6? My mind's boggling. Starts from 12, which happens to be the window width. I mean, I know that's going to cause a problem. Yeah, it's definitely nothing to do with that, is it? Oops. Oh, funny, I didn't even load that time. Didn't compile it. Okay, that made no difference, but that was only the top line. Oh god. How can I do this quickly? I mean, it makes no sense to do that. Oh, damn, why can't you see that? It's moved it down a line, hasn't it? Just what I thought it would do. It makes absolutely no sense. It should work. Each line works. We know it does. It's just the actual contents of the line. Oh, it's insane. Might have to try it again sometime with a really small window so I can just see the code on one page. Like if I make just like an 8 by one segment, you know, it's 8 by 8 character cells, and just see whether that'll come out in order. I can't imagine why it's starting from 6. I know that happens to equal the window width though. Oh dear. Let's run it again and take a little look. Why the heck? 6. 6 is our 12th. And then when we draw the tiles, it starts from the first one and goes through. So it should start, we should be seeing 0 there. That puts it into the right place in memory. And then in the play window, we start from that exact same point in memory. The stack pointer does get incremented when you pop, yeah. pop instruction increments the stack pointer. That's what it says online. So that goes up, so it's fine, and then it goes back down when we push, which is why we start with window width there as an offset. I've looked at this so many times now, on air and off air. Like these here, both of them, they're in pairs and they make sense to me. I've added them up, I've gone along the way, and I've added them up with a calculator, checked them out, checked this out, the very first one. And then I led to the idea that maybe my sprite drawing code is putting it in the wrong position. But how can it come up with 6? The 12th one. Window width. Hang on. The thing is, I know that it is drawing correctly. The sprites look fine. They're drawn on the right lines and that. If I change this, it'll draw it in a different line. So if I just put 1 or int DE. It'll just draw it in a line instead, you know. Huh, that's weird. Oh, because obviously I only done it on that one bit, didn't I? I'm 99% sure that's alright as well. But I could say that about all of it. Oh well, I might have to do a spot gaming before work. Probably works fairly soon. $24. Of course, that shouldn't work right now. I don't know how that's working. Because that relies on it being a 24 wide window and we just changed it to 12. Maybe that's got something to do with it, hang on. So if we want 12, we can do the same trick. But we'll just do that with 4 instead of 8. Oh, I've done it in the wrong place. What an absolute idiot. Okay. Made no difference whatsoever. It's weird. Did I even use that function? Draw tiles? No. Draw sprite, yeah. That's flipping weird. It is a bugger. I'm getting to the stage where I may have to just draw a line under this one, start fresh, do almost the exact same thing, but hope it works like an insane person does. But I'll probably make like a really, really small window. 1 segment by 8 wide, so it's like an 8 by 8 window. And I'll see if they come out in order, the tiles. Because it's really weird, because what's confusing me is the tiles are drawn perfectly. Like they're 4 tiles. They're not like one UDG, you know. They're all aligned correctly. I've moved them down a line somehow with one of that stupid modifications I made. I don't even know what. But that's just rubbish. It's so weird. I've covered every single thing I can imagine that it is. I've sort of tested. What I might do is make a cleaner version of this, like I say, with a smaller window. And if I can't get that working, I'll post on forums and ask for help. What time for a little bit of gaming? I haven't decided what game yet. Yeah, I'm out of ideas. Maybe when I get back from work, I would have had an idea at least to try something. You never know. But I'll probably come back, click new file, and do that thing where I make a smaller version. And just focus on drawing that tile background in order. I'll do every tile. That'll be my next task. Yep. Because that's only even 8 tiles. If I do an 8x8 and the 2 tiles, 2 width per tile, that's not many tiles. 8 of them. Anyway, thanks for having me with me. Been enjoyable. Shame I didn't get quite the result I wanted, but we done some cool things there. Most of it is working, but we might never see this code again if I don't get it working soon. But yeah, good luck to you all. I'm going to come back before work with gaming. I know it's not always your cup of tea, everyone, but later on I'll be coding again after work. It was a worthwhile effort. I've definitely learnt myself here a lot, and also just habits of checking things thoroughly. I'm going to keep going, don't worry. I'm definitely going to, at the very least, make a basic game that works properly before I stop. 100%. Even if the game has to get more and more basic as we go, because I can't do it anymore, but we'll see. Yeah, I'll see you next time. Be back shortly with some gaming. Take it easy, everyone. Bye bye.